Today we are going to analyze, from a technical and productive perspective, why you should consider implementing olive-egger hybrids in your production system. We will leave aside the romantic part to focus on functionality, disease resistance, feed conversion on pasture, reduction of losses due to egg breakage, and the added value of a unique final product. If you want to stop competing for pennies selling common brown eggs and move to a superior market niche with stronger animals, this analysis is for you. Let's get started. To understand why this cross is such a powerful tool for the farm's economy, we first need to understand the biological concept that makes it possible: hybrid vigor. In professional cattle farming, this is daily bread. We cross a Brahman with an Angus to get a Brangus, looking for the best of both worlds: tropical heat resistance and meat quality. In backyard or semi-intensive poultry farming, we can and should do exactly the same. Pure breeds, although necessary to maintain the genetic bank, sometimes suffer from certain weaknesses or delicacy due to inbreeding accumulated over decades of selection looking for a beauty standard for poultry shows. When you cross two genetically distant and unrelated pure breeds, the first-generation offspring, what we technically call F1, experiences an explosion of biological vitality. These animals usually hatch stronger, break the shell with more energy, have a more aggressive and competent immune system, grow a little faster, and, most critical for us, usually have a significantly higher survival rate in free-range pasture systems where there are real challenges like mud, cold, extreme heat, or pathogen pressure. The olive-egger is not a pure breed. It is this functional high-performance hybrid. It is the result of crossing a blue egg breed with a dark brown egg breed. But for the farmer, the choice of parents is not just a matter of color. It is a matter of body architecture. Let's analyze the parents as if they were machinery for your farm. On one hand, we have the structure and meat base. For this, we generally use the Marans breed, specifically the black copper variety, or classic heavy dual-purpose breeds like the Old Line Rhode Island Red or the Barnvelder. These breeds provide the chassis. They are heavy animals with good muscle mass and strong bones. The Marans, for example, brings exceptional rusticity and, a very important detail for logistics, the ability to lay extra-large eggs with a very thick and pigmented shell. A thick shell means less porosity, which translates into a longer shelf life for the egg in storage and a drastic reduction in breakage losses during transport to the farmer's market. On the other hand, we have the agility and efficiency base. Here enter breeds like the araucana, the ameraucana, or the cream leg bar. These birds tend to be lighter, aerodynamic, and have a much superior foraging instinct. They are excellent at seeking insects, larvae, and supplementing their diet in the field, which directly reduces your feed bill. They provide the blue egg gene, which is essential for the color mix, but they also bring liveliness and a constant state of alert against predators, something heavy breeds sometimes lose by being too docile. When you cross these two lines, you get the F1 olive-egger. What characteristics does this animal have in the field? First, it is a medium-large hen. It is not so heavy as to be lazy and stay lying next to the feeder, nor so light as to fly over all your 6-foot fences. It has the ideal weight to be an excellent layer, but with enough meat on the body so that, at the end of its productive cycle, it has a real resale value as a stewing hen or soup bird. An industrial leghorn-type hen at the end of its cycle has no meat value, it is waste. An olive-egger sells well as a dressed carcass. Second, it inherits the hard and pigmented shell of the Marans, along with the blue base of the araucana. The result is a military green egg with a tough shell, ideal for rough daily handling on the farm. Now let's talk about business and market differentiation, because at the end of the day, the homestead must be profitable. In the current market, the brown or red egg has become a commodity. That is, it is an undifferentiated basic product. You compete purely on price. If your neighbor sells the dozen for $3, you have to sell it for $2.90 to compete, and that destroys your margins. Introducing green eggs into your offer changes the consumer's psychology. The olive green egg is not perceived as a basic product. It is instinctively perceived as a gourmet, organic, pasture-raised, or specialty product. By having a batch of olive-egger hens mixed with your traditional layers, you can create rainbow cartons. A carton containing dark brown, cream, and green eggs visually impacts the customer at the farmer's market or the grocery store. This allows you to exit the price war. You no longer sell eggs. You sell premium pastured eggs. This builds loyalty with high-value customers, such as farm-to-table restaurants, boutique hotels, and families looking for quality. The olive-egger hen pays for her own feed simply with the premium price you can charge for her differentiated product. But let's move on to the technical part of implementation on the farm. How do you create these poultry tanks? The genetic formula is simple but strict. Blue egg breed crossed with dark brown egg breed. For a farm system focused on resistance and volume, my technical recommendation is to use a black copper Marans rooster over ameraucana hens. Why this specific order? The Moran's rooster usually transmits body size and brown pigment depth very well. By using males of this breed, you ensure that the offspring have a strong bone structure from birth. Ameraucana hens are decent mothers and have good fertility. The result will be a black or copper hen. This dark color is a tactical advantage. They are visually very discreet in the field and under the shade of trees, which protects them from aerial predators like hawks or owls. Unlike white hens, which are an easy and bright target on the green pasture, these hybrids will lay approximately between 240 and 260 eggs per year. It is true, they will not reach the 300 or 320 eggs of an industrial Isa Brown. But here is the financial key. They will live and produce for more years. An industrial layer burns out metabolically at 2 years. They often die from reproductive problems or ovarian cancer due to excess production. A well-cared-for hybrid olive egger can maintain a profitable laying rate for 3 or 4 years thanks to her greater genetic hardiness. Let's do the longevity math. If you have to replace your flock every year and a half, your pullet rearing costs double. If your flock lasts 3 or 4 years producing well, your return on initial investment is much higher. Another excellent option for farms located in cold climates like the Midwest or mountain areas is to use the Wyandotte breed in the equation. If you cross a Wyandotte rooster, which is characterized by having a rose comb very close to the head and resistant to frostbite, with blue egg hens, you will get olive eggers with superior thermal resistance. The Wyandotte brings a compact body and dense plumage. If your homestead is in an area where winter is harsh or there are many cold drafts, this specific cross will give you animals that won't stop laying when temperatures drop, keeping your cash flow constant during the difficult months when eggs are usually scarce and prices go up. Let's talk now about a technical challenge that few mention, the incubation of these eggs. If you decide to breed your own replacements using Moran's genetics to create olive eggers, you must know that the Moran's eggshell, and therefore the dark green eggshell, is less porous than that of a normal egg. It is a natural armor. This is great for transport, but it is a challenge for the incubator. The thick shell makes gas exchange, and the moisture loss necessary for the chick to hatch difficult. The professional trick here is to manage humidity a little lower than normal during the first 18 days of incubation, around 40% to 45%, to force the egg to lose the necessary water and for the air cell to grow correctly. If you incubate these eggs with standard high humidity, the chicks can drown inside the shell at the moment of piping. This is a technical fact that will save you many embryonic losses. However, as responsible producers, we must talk about limitations and genetic warnings. The most common mistake novice farmers make is treating the olive egger as a stabilized pure breed. You must engrave this in your management plan. The olive egger is a final product. It is a terminal cross, not a breed to reproduce indefinitely with itself. If you take an olive egger rooster and cross him with an olive egger hen, what we call an F2 generation, production becomes an inconsistent disaster. You will lose the hybrid vigor of the first generation. Chicks will hatch weaker, with uneven sizes, and the worst for your business, egg colors will separate. Some daughters will lay green, others pale brown, and others blue. You will lose the uniformity of your product, and your customer will complain. To maintain an efficient productive system, the correct strategy is to always keep the pure breed flocks, your Moran's grandparents and your ameraucana grandparents, separate, and cross them systematically to produce your F1 olive egger replacements. It is the same system that commercial genetic houses use, but applied to your scale. Let's also talk about feeding and handling these animals in a real farm environment. Unlike light industrial layers, leghorn type, that are nervous, flighty, and burn a lot of energy running, or meat breeds, Cornish type, that are sedentary and eat non-stop until they have a heart attack, the olive egger has a balanced temperament. They have the foraging instinct of the ameraucana mother, so they will take good advantage of grazing, controlling pests like ticks, larvae, and beetles. This not only lowers your operating costs but improves the nutritional profile of the egg, yolks more orange and rich in beta-carotene thanks to the grass. However, having Moran's blood, they have a large body to maintain. They cannot live on air and dry grass alone. They require a base diet of 16% to 18% protein to maintain the production of that large and pigmented egg. If nutrition fails, the first indicator will not be that they stop laying, but that the green color of the egg will fade. The intensity of the shell color is an excellent visual thermometer of the nutritional health of your flock. If the eggs come out pale, check your feed formula. Regarding health, hybrid vigor works in your favor economically. These crosses usually present a greater natural resistance to common respiratory problems and greater leg strength than heavy pure breeds. They are not immune, of course, and require their basic vaccination plans, but you will notice that the mortality rate in the rearing stage, from chick to point-of-lay pullet, is significantly lower than when raising delicate pure breeds. This translates directly into money. Every pullet that survives and reaches adulthood is a recovered investment and an avoided loss. An additional point about meat value, the true dual purpose. On a farm, sometimes we have to cull old animals or use the surplus males that hatch. If you raise leghorns, white layers, the males are practically useless. They are pure bone, skin, and feathers, not even worth the cost of plucking. With olive eggers having 50% heavy breed genetics, Moran's, Wyandotte, or Rhode Island, males reach a decent weight for meat at 16 or 18 weeks. They are not fast broilers, but they produce a good quality carcass with real chicken flavor, excellent for family consumption or local sale as heritage stewing birds. This turns the olive egger into a functional dual-purpose option, maximizing every resource of the farm and avoiding waste. To summarize the strategy for your homestead. 1. Objective: market differentiation with a premium product and cost reduction through lower mortality. 2. Method: first-generation cross F1 between blue-laying breeds and heavy dark egg breeds. 3. Result: a rustic animal with hybrid vigor suitable for grazing, with residual meat value, and a star product, the green egg, that allows you to set higher prices. Modern sustainable farming is not just about gross volume, it is about efficiency, resilience, and added value. Having a flock of these super chickens on your farm is not an aesthetic whim or a passing fad, it is a smart agronomic decision. You are diversifying your risk, improving the general health of your birds, and offering a product that the market is screaming for and for which it is willing to pay more. While others keep fighting to sell the cheapest red egg in a price war that no one wins, you will be offering an exclusive product with a story of quality and genetics behind it. I hope this technical analysis has given you a new perspective on how genetics can work in favor of your economy. Don't see the hen just as poultry, see her as a key piece in the productive and financial gear of your farm. If this information has been valuable for your project, I invite you to like the video and subscribe, as we will continue analyzing breeds and management strategies focused on real profitability and farm life. Thank you for being part of this community of producers who always seek excellence. To your success, fellow breeder. Until next time.